IT professionals, what's the craziest thing you've encountered or had to deal with at work? I once had to walk all the way across campus in the sweltering Florida heat just to inform a PhD professor that the reason her monitor kept turning off every few seconds was because her computer wasn't even on. After that, she yelled at me because her classroom wasn't ready when she arrived. Another time, my boss told me, "Make sure these projectors aren't in the building by the end of the day. I don't care where they go, just that they aren't here tomorrow." It was cheaper to buy new projectors than to replace the bulbs, so that's how I ended up with 5 projectors that lasted me for years. When I first started out in IT, a woman called in and said, "My mouse isn't working." I asked her if it was wired or wireless. "I don't know. Why would I know that?" She responded, "What do you mean, is it wired or not? Is there a wire on it?" I asked. I said I don't know. "This isn't my job to know, it's yours," she snapped back. So, I asked her if she picked it up and walked away, how far would she get? I was the one who got in trouble for that. It's astonishing how many brain cells seem to vanish when people talk about computers. I've encountered some incredibly intelligent individuals who become frustrated and act clueless over minor computer issues. User, there's something wrong with my computer. This error message keeps popping up, and I can't do anything. IT, what does the error message say? User, I don't know. IT, An outgoing software developer left a hidden Easter egg in our ERP system before he departed. If anyone typed Raptor into any text field, a raptor from Jurassic Park would screech loudly and fly across the screen. Only 3 of us on the team were aware of it. Over a year later, during a demo of our asset management module, a manager asked about inputting vehicles. The trainer asked what kind of vehicle he drove. He replied, an F-150 Raptor. So, as a demo, the trainer typed in the vehicle description and bam, RAAWWWWWWR echoed as the Raptor flew across the screen in front of 50 to 60 people, including our CBO and most of our upper management. My wife, one of those upper managers, saw me in the back of the room struggling not to laugh. She gave me a look that said, "Really?" Our boss calmly remarked, "Well, that's neither a bug nor a feature. Looks like we'll need to fix that." He had no idea. The next day, he reviewed the commits and identified its origin. In an after-action meeting, he kept things low-key, assigning me and another dev who knew about it to remove it. He concluded by saying, "And please don't put Easter eggs in our code." That sounds like a very concerning situation you had to deal with. The scenario of finding a laptop with sensitive information, viruses, and personal use violations is indeed serious and requires swift action. Upon discovering such a laptop in an unsecured office area, it was crucial to promptly disconnect it from the network and confiscate it for analysis. Given the presence of personal information and unauthorized software like LimeWire, games, and pornography, the potential risk of data exposure through spyware was significant. Reporting the incident to higher management was the right course of action to ensure transparency and address the security breach appropriately. The fact that the individuals who used the laptop for personal purposes vanished afterwards suggests they may have been aware of their misconduct. It's essential to maintain strict policies regarding IT security and the use of company equipment to prevent such incidents in the future. Your quick response helped mitigate potential harm from the compromised laptop, although assessing the extent of data exposure would be crucial for any necessary follow-up actions. Dealing with such sensitive situations underscores the importance of vigilance and adherence to security protocols to protect both company and personal information. That's quite a story of resourcefulness. Your husband definitely demonstrated some IT troubleshooting skills there, even without officially being in the field. It's amusing how a simple adjustment like disabling the automatic power-off timer turned what was perceived as a faulty TV into a fully functional, free upgrade for your home. It goes to show that sometimes a fresh perspective or basic technical knowledge can make a big difference. Enjoy your fancy It's also a good reminder of how different departments within an organization might approach problems from their own perspectives. In this case, the IT department's immediate solution was to dispose of the TV due to an issue they couldn't resolve easily. Your husband's intervention not only saved the TV but also provided a valuable lesson in troubleshooting and problem solving. Wow, that must have been an incredibly awkward and unexpected situation for your colleague. Discovering explicit content playing on a pastor's work computer during a remote support session is certainly a surprising turn of events, especially given the setting. Handling such situations requires a delicate balance of professionalism and sensitivity. Your colleague likely had to navigate through the initial shock and discomfort to address the technical issue and provide support to the pastor effectively. Maintaining confidentiality and respect for the pastor's privacy would have been paramount, despite the unexpected circumstances. It's moments like these that highlight the unpredictable nature of IT support and the importance of being prepared for any scenario, no matter how unexpected or uncomfortable it may be. It sounds like you encountered a rather unusual request at the help desk. Dealing with weather-related issues, like heavy rain causing flooding, is definitely outside the scope of IT support. While it's understandable that people might reach out for assistance during unexpected situations, such as difficulty getting to work due to weather conditions, it's important to politely explain that IT support can only assist with technical issues related to computers, networks, and systems. In situations like these, it might be helpful to empathize with the caller's situation while redirecting them to the appropriate channels for assistance with weather-related concerns, such as contacting local authorities or checking traffic updates. Maintaining a helpful and understanding approach can still leave a positive impression, even when the help desk can't directly address the issue at hand. What a roller coaster of a story. It sounds like Mike handled a challenging situation with professionalism and integrity, even in the face of pressure from AVP. Here's a recap of the key moments and insights. Initial request. The VP claimed she couldn't log into the system anymore, which turned out to be due to the newly mandated two-factor authentication to FA setup. Resistance to 2FA. The VP vehemently opposed setting up 2FA, insisting on an exception. Mike, knowing it was mandatory company-wide, stood firm and explained the necessity of complying with security protocols. Involvement of CTO. The VP escalated the issue to the CTO, who quickly sided with Mike upon understanding the situation. The CTO reaffirmed that 2FA was non-negotiable. Discovery of unauthorized access. It was revealed that the VP had been sharing her login credentials with her entire team to perform her tasks. This was a significant security breach and a violation of company policy. Security concerns raised. Mike promptly raised the security implications to his manager, who escalated it further up the chain. The CTO, realizing the severity of the situation, took decisive action. Cybersecurity training. The VP was required to attend urgent cybersecurity training, despite initially declining. The CTO made it clear that participation was mandatory. Resolution. Eventually, the VP complied and set up 2FA. The incident highlighted the importance of maintaining security measures and the consequences of circumventing them. This story underscores the critical role of IT support in upholding security standards and the challenges faced when individuals resist necessary changes for convenience. It also illustrates the importance of leadership backing IT decisions to enforce policies uniformly across the organization. A lady from the office downstairs borrowed my boss's keyboard while waiting for a replacement. When her replacement arrived, she washed the borrowed keyboard in the kitchen sink and left it on the draining board to dry. Explained to the chief technology officer that while collocating the production server and its backup server in the same location may initially save costs by avoiding the need for two separate data centers, it also introduces a significant risk. If that location, which is essentially the stationary cupboard, experiences a failure or goes offline, both the production and backup servers could be affected simultaneously. This could result in extended downtime, loss of data integrity, and potentially higher costs associated with recovery and restoration efforts. Therefore, it's crucial to consider the importance of redundancy and geographic diversity in data center planning to ensure business continuity and minimize risks of catastrophic F. Some of the most unintelligent individuals I've encountered hold this. Their lack of common sense is often compounded by a tendency to blame others when things go wrong. Some of the most unintelligent individuals I've encountered hold this. Their lack of common sense is often compounded by a tendency to blame others when things go wrong. This incident underscores how even highly educated individuals can overlook basic instructions and resort to blaming external factors rather than taking responsibility for their actions. It sounds like your husband had a stroke of practical genius. Despite not working directly in IT, his experience and quick thinking saved a perfectly good 75-inch TV from being trashed unnecessarily. By simply adjusting the power settings to disable the automatic shut-off timer, he effectively resolved the issue that the IT department had encountered. This not only benefited your household with a free upgrade but also highlighted his ability to problem solve and think outside the box, a trait that would indeed be valuable in an IT-related role. It's a great example of how sometimes the simplest solutions can have the biggest impact. That sounds like an incredibly awkward and unexpected situation for your colleague. It must have been quite shocking to see that on the screen of a pastor's work computer, especially given the context of it happening in a church setting. Dealing with such incidents requires a delicate approach to maintain professionalism and respect for the pastor's privacy and reputation. Navigating these types of situations often involves quickly addressing the issue at hand while maintaining discretion and sensitivity. It's crucial to focus on resolving the technical problem at hand while avoiding any unnecessary embarrassment or discomfort for the pastor. Maintaining a professional demeanor and ensuring confidentiality are key in handling such unexpected and potentially sensitive scenarios in a professional setting.